What's going on, people? Back with a bang. This is the Money Management, here to bring you guys another weekly watch list. Now, tomorrow is Monday, the 25th of October, and that means it's the last full week of October. Can you believe it? We're entering the last full trading week of October, or Uptober, as some may say. So that means we're going to be entering the last 2 months of the year in just over a week, and I think this week is going to be the last strong week for maybe a couple weeks now. But in this video, I'm going to show you guys a few stocks I'm looking at this week, a few stocks that you guys should be looking at, some stocks which have had interesting movement over the past few days because of earnings or in the run up to earnings, etc. But before we get into all of this today, I would just like to say, please can you guys make sure you guys drop that comments, drop those thumbs ups, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, hit the red button, and of course, if you're new around here and you've never shared a video, share a video with your friend, your family, your colleague, your co-worker, someone at your school, whoever. Just please share these videos. It does help with YouTube algorithm, it does help me in a great way, and it shows me what kind of videos you guys like. So now, without further ado, let's dive straight into it. I'm going to start off with Snapchat first. So I did talk about this in my previous video, and Snapchat announced earnings after hours on Thursday. So it was obviously a very underwhelming earnings, which caused the stock to tank so heavily. But not only that, it's tanked so many different social media stocks, and Snapchat is now back under $56, and it's actually at the levels it was, I think, pretty much at the beginning of this year. So all the gains of this year have basically been wiped out. Here we go. We have the chart here. So, okay, maybe not. Oh, wait, hold on. Here we are. Yep. So, okay, we've not been this low since around May. Pretty much so many of the gains that we got from this year, the majority of the gains that they got to get up to $83, $84 have been wiped out. So what am I looking at with Snapchat? Well, obviously it's below the 8-day EMA. It's below the 200-day EMA. It's probably below most moving averages because Snapchat has not been this low for a while. But I am looking at buying shares of this company and also buying the call options. I'm not going to touch the call options yet, but if I were, I'll be looking at the $60 calls, $65 calls for November, for December, because right now these are pretty cheap. And again, Snapchat has tanked, so we are sitting what I think is a lot lower than the price of the stock, where the price of the stock should be. So I will be looking at the call options, but also looking for that stock to start uptrending. So actually, a few different stocks which sold off as a result of Snapchat's such poor earnings were Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, also Google. All of these actually report earnings soon, and all of them are also advertising platforms. So remember that. So you can also look at those. I'm not going to break them down in this video. I'll talk about them in Discord, but if you're not in Discord, again, please join the Discord and also go check out those other stocks I just mentioned. So next stock I'm going to talk about, which also has been affected by earnings, is Beyond Meat. Now this one is a different situation because earnings has not been announced yet, but look at it over the past 5 days. So it sold off heavily. Now why has it sold off? Well, pretty much they've said in advance that their expected revenue is not going to meet expectations. So that's pretty much the reason for this huge drop off. They basically said that they're not going to reach expectations because of COVID and this and that. Look, to me, that's pretty much just an excuse. You know, if you had said this a year ago, 18 months ago, I would have understood. But over the past 3-4 months, over the past 6 months, to be honest, people have been buying food again. People have been going out regularly to get whatever consumer goods they need. And I don't think that Beyond Meat announcing this before earnings have come up with a good reason here for such a poor expected revenue. That being said, it does mean to look at this for puts in the run up to earnings. Be careful not to trade this at earnings, but in the run up to earnings, I would definitely look at this for puts. So earnings is on November 11th. We've got this week and next week to play this stock. But again, just look how far it's fallen off. To be honest, you can look at it for calls or puts, let's be honest. Because it depends how far you're talking. What I would do with this stock is wait and see what Monday is looking like. Maybe also see what Tuesday is looking at. But it's just a stock that I'm really intrigued to see how it reacts to that news. Obviously, it's already sold off heavily since the news. But I'm just looking forward to see the aftermath, how the stock continues to behave. Now I want to move on to two different stocks which have both been affected by our good old friend Mr. Trump. First is DWAC, because This SPAC did some crazy numbers last week. It started off the week around $9, $10, before shooting up to highs of $170, $175 even. Basically, so you guys understand a bit about what's happening here, Mr. Trump was banned from Facebook and Twitter, I believe, in January this year, at the beginning of this year anyway. And pretty much he's decided to create his own social media platform. So, can he get people engaging in his own social media platform? I don't know. But the news, the hype around this did cause this stock to pump before obviously selling off. I guess a lot of people took profits or the hype started to die down, but the fun was over. And the other one was also PHUN. A very similar chart as you guys can see. Stock was around $1 and it ran up to highs of $24 before dropping down back to the $6 range. So both of these stocks did crazy numbers. PHUN was up 470%, ended the day 470% up, even after the crazy drop. At one point, it was up around 1800%. So people made crazy money here. But what I want you guys to look at with these two stocks, both DWAC and PHUN, is just how they react going into this week. Because again, last week they did thousands of percent returns. This week, do I expect that to happen? No. But a small bit of news, any kind of announcement could cause these to start rallying again. Potentially see PHUN get past $8, get past $9 and start rising back to maybe $10, 10.60s. Again, this is really fueled by hype, so I'm not really sure what could happen here. I'm definitely intrigued to see how they react. I'm not really looking at buying shares of these two at this point in time. I feel like I have missed the boat, and if I haven't missed the boat, then it's okay. I'm not too worried about pretty much what I see right now as a pump and dump. One stock I am looking at buying shares is Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA. It has slowly been rising this past week. It's slowly been rising this past month as well. And what are we looking at with this one? Well, if we zoom out a little bit, we've got a long way to go. Back up to the $200 level. We're getting nearer to the $200 level. Of course, again, over the past month, we've had a really nice gain from around $139 all the way up to $177. I'm now looking at the $180 calls for first week of November, $190 or $200 calls for December. What I would look for here is a pullback back to around $169, $170 before seeing if you can hold that kind of support and then bouncing back up. Otherwise, I think the stock might just slowly continue to uptrend. So your best bet here is probably buying shares and just holding them. Long term, if you want to buy those shares, I don't see how we don't get back to $230, $240 eventually. I've always said this stock at $200 is a steal. Now that it's sitting 25 bucks below $200, it's even more of a steal. So definitely look at Alibaba how it performs this week. Could this be the week that it sees $200? I don't think so. I think that's coming in November. But again, Alibaba has been slowly but surely rising. Next stock I want to look at is Netflix, using with NFLX. You guys have all heard of Squid Game by now, and they announced earnings. Well, Netflix announced earnings Tuesday after close, and right now it's at all-time highs. So the thing with Netflix here is the stock looks very strong, it's booming, and a lot of this in the past week, past few months, in the past week, past few weeks, maybe even past month, is down to Squid Game, which is reported to be bringing in around $900 million for Netflix, of course. And I think it cost them around $21 million to produce the film to get everything sorted. So $900 million revenue is a ridiculous return, and it's being reflected in the stock price and stock movement. So what am I looking at here? Well, we've seen similar stuff like this before, similar price action like this with Snapchat, with Salesforce, ticker symbol CRM in the past couple of months. I'm looking for a little bit of a pullback now. I don't know what levels it may pull back to. I'd say if we look at the past 5 days, we change the time frame here. Maybe a level of support just above $639, previous resistance. But yes, this stock might also just decide it wants to continue running. Netflix has been monstrous recently. I've always said Netflix under $600 is a steal. Just a month ago, it was under $600. It was $582 just a month ago. And since then, it's made very strong gains. So another stock which has made very strong gains recently is CVS. Let's have a look at CVS. So this past week, it was very, very bullish. Went from around $84 to highs of $87. And it's a kind of a similar chart, finished the week similarly to how Netflix did. So I'm looking for a pullback here, maybe towards the 200-day SMA around 86.55 here. But if it goes past the 87.79 mark, I could be looking at the $89 calls for this Friday or even $90 calls for this Friday. If I zoom in a little bit, you guys can see what I'm referring to. Just look at the candles. So the top of this candle is 87.60, I'd say. 87.60. But the candles have been looking strong. And they're trending nicely above the 8-day EMA. So what we want to see here is if the candles fail to really break above this line, then look for a pullback towards the downside. And then I'll be looking at the $86 puts. So if you guys want to follow this trade, be with me in the Discord. Come join the Discord. We can follow this trade together. If you want a chance to get a riskier call, you're going to go for the $90 call. If you want a riskier put, then probably check out the $84 put. But I don't believe that this is going to fall down to $84 this week, so I would not recommend that. But indeed, I will have my eyes on CVS this week for a nice trade, potential swing trade. And I think I've given you guys about 7 or 8 stocks. Let's look at one more to finish. Let's look at one stock which has been giving us some good profits these past weeks. That is AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. So earnings is going to be announced this week or next week, is it? I don't know. I need to check that. Let's see. Earnings is October 26th. Yeah, this week. So the run up to earnings, we've been making good profits. Now there's still a little bit left in this run up to earnings, and I believe that this seems like another great opportunity. Will I be trading the earnings? Probably not. The run up to earnings, we can still sneak in with a day trade tomorrow. So what am I looking for here? To be honest, I'm looking at the $120 calls, $122 calls. So with AMD in the run up to earnings, I do expect us to see all-time highs, but this is the issue. Do I expect to see all-time highs before the earnings or right after the earnings? To be honest, I've got to see what the price action is like Monday. Now, if we just zoom out a little bit, we can see right now AMD has been moving up, then pulling back a little bit and continuing to kind of step its way up. Right now, we've just had a little bit of a pullback. This could be a last push to maybe 121, past 121 right before earnings. So I'm definitely looking for the 120 and $122 calls for AMD. If you look here, it could be maybe pulling back a little bit more towards the 200-day SMA, but not all the way down. And then, all-time highs could be near. This is definitely one of my top stocks to watch for this week. If I had to pick up top stock, it would probably pretty much be AMD, to be honest. It pretty much would be. I do like Snapchat long term. I do like Alibaba long term. But right now, for this short term play, I've got to say it's got to be AMD. So that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. Hope you guys come and join the Discord. Check out the Discord because we are having good fun there, making some good trades, making a lot of profit. One stock which we made ridiculous returns off of towards the end of the week was ABT. Check this out. We went for the $126 calls when it was around $124 here, and we're already in the money. But now these options did around 170% returns, I believe. If we just check it out on Robinhood, this is exactly why you guys need to come and join the Discord. We have such great trades in there. And also, if you want to learn how to make your own trades, you can check out the Stock Option Starter Pack, which is the first link in the description. But yes, ABT, we've been trading this since it was around $124, right around here. And we're now in the money, which is really good. This is exactly what you want with options. Before expiry, our contracts expired this Friday. We got our contracts around 40 to 45 cents. And look now, they're already $1.75. That is the kind of moves you want to make. But yeah, please do check out the Discord. Please check out the Stock Option Starter Pack. And overall, let's make it another great week. The last full week of October trading. Let's see what SPY does. It's going to be interesting to see. Don't forget to watch out for your cryptocurrencies as well. But yes, make sure you drop a thumbs up, show some support, comment, get the videos out to more people. And lastly but not least, subscribe if you are new around here. That's it from me, guys. I go into making, you got money to making. See you guys next time for another video. Peace.
Game over.